the rules require the presiding officer to do. It is possible that through certain votes by members of the court, some or all of impeachment could be dismissed. If the articles are dismissed, the court will enter a finding that they are dismissed with prejudice, thereby satisfying Article 15, Section 5 of the Constitution, reinstating Attorney General to office. However, if any articles remain after votes on pretrial motions, the rules require we move forward with the trial. We will now take up pretrial motions under the rules. It takes a majority of members present, that is 16 voting members, who are eligible to serve as jurors to grant a motion for dismissal. Per the rules, all motions and answers are required to be filed prior to the trial, and the arguments of the counsel for both sides are contained therein. Members, you have read the pretrial motions and the answers to the motions. For each motion, you will indicate on your voting form, yea or nay. A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion.
So, as you may have gathered from the title and what you're seeing, this is the impeachment trial of Ken Paxton, Attorney General in Texas, who, being a Republican, is engaging in standard Republican crime, except apparently that he has done so to a degree that other Republicans feel they'll be embarrassed by. This is, of course, me busting their chops. No, they say he's done more than they have, and they will attempt to. Those who are impeaching him will attempt to demonstrate that. Obviously, I forgot this was happening today. Welcome, by the way, to WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. On this extraordinarily unadvertised stream. I'm just going to cover this thing and watch it with you and chime in from time to time. But if you want to watch the thing without this old chunk of coal interrupting, the link is in the description, and this is being covered by, as you see there, I don't know what I just nodded at, as you see there, CBS Texas. So let's listen in. I'll chime in. I'll do some context, if you'd like, explaining why this is a big deal, who Ken Paxton is, so on and so forth. But I do think, even though the shadow of a presidential criminal trial looms large, this is hugely important, because the larger issue at hand here is we have a criminal organization which has passed itself off as a political party, and we've just entered into the era where this is being handled realistically. So let's watch a little bit of history together, and it's good history, like you want. Now, of course, as I was flapping my lips just now, they explained. Oh.
Are all of the votes collected, bailiff?
There we are. What was happening? I don't know what it is.
The clerk, Ms. Spa is our Secretary of the Senate. The clerk will now pull the votes at random and read them into the record.
Flores, no. Eckhart, no. Colcourse, yay. Betancourt, yay. Creighton, yay. Middleton, nay. Alvarado, nay. King, nay. Sparks, nay.
So if you're just joining, we're essentially counting to 16.
West, nay.
Now, my expectation
Whitmer, nay.
was that it would be unanimous or close to it.
Huffman, nay.
But in full disclosure, I haven't followed this
Hinojosa, nay.
obviously as closely as I should. How you doing? Well, they're about to. They'll tell us when they're done counting. How you doing, Jess Rush? How you doing, Wicked Foxy Dragon? Good to see you. Pleasantly surprised to see you. I myself did not know this stream was going up until I got a notification that the thing started. The impeachment trial's happening. It just fell off. I lost track. Jackson can count faster than this. This is Jackson is her young son. Shaking cobwebs from my head. Yeah, me too, man. I'll tell you. After that letter hack interview, I was geeked up all night. I was so.
Valentia, nay.
Okay, I was so excited. I had a blast.
Yay.
Well, there's the yays.
Hughes, nay. Miles, nay. Gutierrez, nay. Johnson, nay.
Well,
Nay.
well, Ben Stein goes on there. Jess Rush, sounds like it's a no for impeaching. Could be. That would.
Yay.
That we just heard some yays. That would be interesting. Let's get a recap of what they're talking about though from CNN Politics.
Blanco,
Paxton.
nay.
Here we go. Since taking office in 2015, Paxton has been beset by a series of scandals. He remains under indictment on securities fraud charges and faces an additional federal investigation after former staffers accused him of accepting bribes and abusing his office. It was his request for
6 yeas.
34 yays,
I will
34
now
nays,
confirm the
6
vote of the
yays.
jury in alphabetical order. Senator Alvarado, you vote. Senator Betancourt,
Yay.
Senator Birdwell,
Nay.
Senator Blanco, Senator Campbell,
Yay.
Senator Creighton,
Yay.
Senator Eckhart, Senator Flores,
Why choose a word that rhymes
Senator Gutierrez,
when we set all this up?
Senator Hall,
All right,
Yay.
because I
Senator
literally
Hancock.
can't tell if they're saying yay or nay. Let me finish reading what this is about. It was his request for $3.3 million in state funds for a settlement with those whistleblowers that prompted the State House GOP to impeach Paxton on a 221 to 23 vote, with 2 members voting present. So the House voted to do this to him. So I assume that the state Senate would be different. But no, according to this, the Republican-controlled state Senate is friendlier ground for the embattled Attorney General. He has a number of conservative allies there, including the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, who will preside over the trial. His wife, Angela Paxton, is a member of the Senate, though she has been barred from voting on the trial, thank God. So that's the breakdown. All right, let's find out. I am going to make 1 cup of coffee so I can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed if anything dramatic happens.
Members, we are now taking up motion 9, submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Exclude Evidence of Any Alleged Conduct That Occurred Prior to January 2023. A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your voting form.
The bribing. Or rather, not the, yeah. He wants to just make it about using state funds to pay off complaining staffers. apparently. All right, I'm making that coffee. I almost just said, can I get you something? That would have... I need that coffee.
Bailiffs, please pick up the votes. Are all votes collected? Thank you, bailiff. Clerk will pull the votes at random.
Well,
Eckhart, nay. King, nay. Sparks, nay. Flores, nay. Blanco, nay. La Mantilla, nay.
well, it would have helped if I would have remembered this thing. Shade Dragon, good to see you as well. If I would have remembered this thing, but I do believe they are trying to weaponize the boring nature of this. But I mean,
Nay.
if the Senate doesn't impeach Paxton, they are then going to be giving lefties a gift. And this is why I think this is important. Look at this coming together slowly but surely. This is why I think it's important. We have the opportunity. We being the everybody else that the folks in the Texas Senate enjoy attacking. We have an opportunity to say that they must now own this behavior. So if they fail to impeach Paxton in the Senate, then they are endorsing him. And we use that and everything that comes out about Paxton after this as an advertisement for who they are, for who Republicans in Texas are. And if they do impeach him, let me hear this. If they do end up impeaching him, then we have the entirety of the trial for which to learn what he's been up to. And then we say this is what a Republican Attorney General does. Vote Democrat. So it's win-win, but it's only because their behavior has been so despicable. And a great way to avoid, if you're getting into politics and you're thinking, if I'm a politician, I don't want this to happen to me. A great way to avoid that is to not take bribes in office. That's a helpful little pro tip there. So you probably can't be a Republican then.
8 yeas, 22 nays.
I'll confirm the votes. Senator Alvarado? Senator Betancourt?
Nay.
Senator Birdwell.
Yay.
Senator Blanco.
Ooh, let's see.
Senator Campbell.
Yay.
Senator Creighton.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart.
Yay.
Senator Flores.
Yay.
Senator Gutierrez. Senator
Lots
Hall.
of people accuse the founding fathers
Senator
of being
Hancock.
smart. They were typically rich men.
Senator Hinojosa.
Yay.
Senator Huffman. Senator Hughes. Senator Johnson.
So to Jess Rush's,
Senator King.
hey there, Pinkerbell,
Hey.
good to see you.
Senator Colcourse.
To Jess Rush's earlier
Senator LaMantia.
comment, it sounds like a no for impeachment. Yeah, it did sound like a no, but then they're taking all these other votes, which seems to me like they would be irrelevant if they're not going to do the impeachment at all. So I suspect that we just, and this is me more than you, it's my job to understand this, but I don't understand why they're continuing these votes. But it should be made awfully clear soon. If this trial starts proper, then we're going to, they are required to lay it out in plain English at the end.
Submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Articles of Impeachment 1 through 7 and 9 through 20. A yea vote is to grant the motion. A nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your ballots.
Okay, I see. So in this case, we would want to hear nay, 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 because the motion is to dismiss these articles of impeachment. Let's listen. While I pour. Oh, the sound's on. They're just, all right. They're entering their things.
Bill, if you will collect the ballots.
And presumably, if we hear a bunch of nays, that means the people who voted nay are in support of impeachment in general, and we can use those context clues to understand that first vote that they took. Ooh, boy. Pinkerbell, I found out the people who draw our maps are essentially the corrupt bastards on trial
All
right
ballots
now,
collected. Thank you.
and the guy responsible for conducting the
will-
trial. Oof.
Pull at random and read the votes.
Oof. I'm sorry. So,
Johnson, nay.
well, they're counting. Pinkerbell, if I
Springer,
understand correctly, you're in
nay.
Texas. Interesting.
Wartner, yay.
We're looking for nays.
Campbell, yay.
Ooh.
Nichols, nay. West, nay.
Oh, Kanye's there.
Whitmire, nay. Huffman, nay. Hinojosa, nay. Parker, yay. Hughes, nay. Miles, nay. Gutierrez, nay. Zaffarini, nay. Blanco, nay. LaMantia, nay. Hancock, nay. Menendez, nay. Birdwell, nay. Hall, yay. Perry, yay. Colcourse, yay. Betancourt, yay. Creighton, yay. Middleton, nay. Alvarado, nay.
Good lad,
Eckhart,
Alvarado.
nay. King, nay.
All right. Well, while she's counting off, does anybody remember
Nay.
that? Oh, yes, in Texas, Pinker Belt.
Flores,
Fascinating.
nay.
I would love at some point to just have an extended conversation with you about the life of a sane person in a wild land. So
8 yeas, 22 nays.
22 nays. So they're not dropping those.
Members, please confirm your votes. Senator Alvarado,
Okay, well they're
Senator
confirming.
Betancourt.
Yay.
So they're keeping those charges. Interesting. Good. Does anybody remember that a show called That Mitchell and Webb Look? It was a British sketch comedy. If so, do you further remember the snooker players? The people that goes, oh, and that's a bad hit. Or that's bad luck, something like that. Anyway, I feel like those guys right now. What on earth am I doing? Stone sober while the sun's up. Nonsense.
Senator Middleton, Senator Miles, Senator Nichols, Senator Parker,
Yay.
Senator Perry,
If you are
Senator
considering
Swerter.
running for the House in your state or running for the Senate in your state, so I shouldn't say the, I suppose, your state's House or Senate. Oh, let's hear this update.
is denied.
Good. That is good news. This is what the job will be, mostly. Sometimes you'll be on a committee and that committee will write bills. Oh, here we go.
Action. The motion is entitled Motion to Quash Articles of Impeachment or Grant Request for Bill of Particulars. A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion. Mark your ballot.
So nay is what we would hope to hear again in this. Interesting. If you end up in this coming election running for your state's equivalent of that office right there that you're seeing, that meeting room that you're seeing, this will be the majority of what you do. And as I was saying, the people that write legislation are generally on committees. They say what they want done, and then a legal mind puts together those bills. Okay, I'm listening in. But the main thing is that you then vote on them. You get a little packet. It tells you what's in the bill ahead of time. It's your job to sit down and do the boring work of reading through it and understanding it to the best of your ability. And if you're unable to, you have the resources professionally there within that building to have it explained to you. But then you decide if it should be or if it should not be, and it comes down to saying yes or no, and that is very much what it will look like. Will it be boring? Yes. This is why Walkmans exist, why podcasts exist. Boring is sin. That part,
All ballots collected. Thank you.
unless it gets entertaining.
read
So if you're
the
able to
ballots at
sit
random.
through this, you're able to do what they do. Because you already do the hard part for fun. You get educated.
Miles, nay.
I'm not going to count the whole
Gutierrez,
thing. It's
nay.
30. I only have the 26 fingers.
Johnson, nay. Springer, nay. Schwertner, nay. Campbell, yay.
Campbell.
Nichols, nay.
Down.
West, nay.
All right, let's see what the Wicked community is up to. Pinkerbell, yeah, Jake, I'm down to chat anytime. Rad. I'm getting starting at 12. I'm getting my intranet fixed here. I'm looking forward to doing our second call-in show. Let's you and I talk. That sounds like fun. Just like do an extended thing. Shade Dragon, I don't write bills. I only pay them, unfortunately. You can change half of that if you run for office. But I also stress that it's if you want to have an effect on that room there, you can simply choose which people you want to be in that room. And I don't just mean at the ballot box. I mean the more involved you choose to be with a specific person, the more influence you will have. So you can get one of your buddies who's doing a job, a smart person with a good heart who's not getting paid very much right now. Show them how much a state representative makes per year, and ask them honestly if they would be willing to do that job for that amount of money. And if they say yes, say that you're willing to help them achieve that.
Creighton, yay.
You can be a
Middleton, nay.
force for change in your state without necessarily
Alvarado, nay.
actually becoming a politician. It
Eckhart,
would suck,
nay.
I'll admit. I understand the desire to not be the
King,
person sitting in
nay.
that room. And you want to maintain the ability to fog glass with your
Sparks,
breath,
nay.
which I understand that politicians don't actually have.
Flores, nay.
Public utility. Only need to count yay or meh. Pinkerbell, Brian Hughes is my state senator, so I'm keeping an ear out for that name. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit. Let's find out how Brian Hughes does.
Six yeas, 24 nays.
To confirm the vote, Senator Alvarado, Senator Betancourt,
Yay.
Senator Birdwell,
Nay.
Senator Blanco, Senator Campbell,
Yay.
Senator Creighton,
Yay.
Senator Eckhart,
Nay.
Senator Flores,
Nay.
Senator Gutierrez,
Yay.
Senator Hall,
Yay.
Senator Hancock, Senator Hinojosa,
Yay.
Senator Huffman, Senator Hughes, Senator Johnson, Senator King,
Nay.
Senator Colcourse, Senator LaMantia, Senator Menendez,
Nay.
Senator Middleton,
Nay.
Senator Miles, Senator Nichols,
Nay.
Senator Parker,
Yay.
Senator Perry, Senator Swertner,
Nay.
Senator Sparks,
Nay.
Senator Springer, Senator West, Senator Whitmire, Senator Zaffrini. There being 24 nay votes and 6 yay votes, the motion is denied.
So far, not looking great for Ken Paxton, which means it is looking great for law-abiding
Members,
citizens.
now we are taking up motion 7, submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Request for a Bill of Particulars. A yay vote is granting the motion. A nay vote
All
is
right,
denying
call
the
it in
motion.
the chat. I think it's going to be almost unanimous yays for the Bill of Particulars, which I think means simply an explanation in detail of, well, hell. Let me Google that.
We're doing 7.
Yeah, House managers must identify each and every act allegedly committed by Attorney General
let's
Paxton
pick up the votes.
himself. I don't know why he wants that, but okay. All right. Public utility, what an arcane process. Yeah. I do think I'm okay with it being arcane, to be honest. Yeah, you've gotta submit your vote, and then the guy has to confirm your. All right, fine. Turn 3 keys, rub your belly, whatever. The process we've agreed means the person won't later say, "Oh, I actually said the other thing, so you counted wrong, so we have to do it again." But you would think we could just have like a paddle with a yay or nay, and you could see the person holding the. I don't know. We
All
got.
votes collected.
We're a
Secretary
silly
will-
species
Clerk will call the
in general.
votes.
So I'm guessing unanimous yays. I don't see why
Campbell,
any
yay.
side would object to laying out what they're
Nichols,
about to lay
nay.
out. Okay.
West, nay.
I definitely don't understand it.
Whitmire, nay. Huffman, nay. Hinojosa, nay.
Well, she's reading this off then. I'm going to look up the specifics, and I'll tell you about it in a moment and update the description with links with what I just read.
Flores, nay. Blanco, nay. La Mantilla, nay. Parker, yay. Hughes, nay. Miles, nay.
There's Hughes.
Gutierrez, nay. Johnson, nay. Springer, nay. Schwartner, nay. Hancock, nay. Menendez, nay. Birdwell, nay. Hall, yay. Terry, nay. Colkhorst, yay. Betancourt, Betancourt, yay. Creighton, yay. Middleton, nay. Alvarado, nay. Eckhart, nay. King, nay. Sparks, nay. Zaffarini, nay.
All right. Well,
6 yeas, 24 nays.
that makes more sense. So Hughes is not thrilling me.
Members confirming the vote. Senator Alvarado. Senator Betancourt.
Yay.
Senator Birdwell. Senator Birdwell, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Or maybe he is.
Senator
Here's the
Blanco?
deal. According
Senator Campbell.
to
Yay.
Senator Creighton.
the Texan,
Senator Eckhart.
so it appears to be a
Senator Flores.
pretty standard
Senator Gutierrez.
looking local paper.
Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock.
Senator
Hinojosa.
A bill of particulars is essentially a detailed description of the charges against the defendant, with the facts of each allegation included. This is a quote from the motion that Paxton filed to have them listed. These articles are fatally deficient, particularly in comparison to those that came before. Contrary To clear constitutional mandates, a reader is left to guess as to the specific claims the prosecution must prove beyond a reasonable doubt
Senator Whitmire.
to support each
Senator
article. The motion
There
reads.
being
None of the
24
articles.
nays and 6 ayes, the motion is denied.
Motion for the particulars denied. So basically, what we've just read there is it's a laying out of
Members now taking up motion 13 submitted by the respondent,
second.
Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 1. A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion.
nay is what we'd hope to hear. So the particulars are just more details on what will be established in the according to the all right. So the accusations have been leveled. He wants more detailed accusations, and they just voted to say no. We'll go into details when we lay out our arguments in this session. You'll find out those details then of what we know. I personally don't understand why you would have any mystery at all about it. But this is not a group of people that is traditionally very trustworthy. So they may be there's let me just say this. There's likely something going on that I don't understand. Maybe it's innocent. Nays are what we want to hear in this next vote. Ooh, Shade Dragon grabbing some yogurt for Brecky. Good idea. Pinkerbell, I am all for reading out his corrupt deeds on the record, but I can understand if they are considering expediency. There's only like 4,000 pages of evidence. Foxy one, is that all?
All votes counted, all votes picked up further. Thank
Yeah.
you. Clerk will read the votes.
I agree with you in that assessment. I got nothing to add. I'm with you.
Birdwell, nay. Hall, yay.
All right, Hughes, do us proud.
Perry,
Give us a
yay.
name.
Colcourse, yay. Betancourt, yay. Creighton, yay. Middleton, nay.
Good.
Alvarado, nay. Eckhart, nay. King, nay.
Okay.
Sparks, nay. Flores, nay.
I'm going to listen for a moment. Let's get to
Blanco,
Hughes at least.
nay. La Mantilla, nay. Parker, yay. Hughes, nay.
Good lad. So I'm going to assume that's going to go with the rest of the trend here, but we'll hear it recapped in a moment regardless. Yeah, nay is good in this case. That was a motion to dismiss altogether one of the things they were going to impeach him for. So some background on this. Essentially, Ken Paxton is accused of taking bribes in office, very much in the same way Spiro Agnew, Richard Nixon's vice president, was accused of taking bribes in office. This might be something that's worth doing an old-fashioned news type story on. Let me know if it's of interest to you. Let me know specifically if it's not of interest to you. I'll assume it is, just because you're here. But he's accused of taking bribes in office, and what we are seeing that I think is worth observing and making note of how it goes down is the split between the more naked corruption that has taken place in a lot of specifically southern states, but frankly just deep red areas, and the old-fashioned subtle corruption of the
Senator
Republican
Betancourt.
Party.
Yay.
Senator Birdwell.
Yay.
Senator Blanco. Senator Campbell.
Yay.
All right,
Senator
let's hear it in
Creighton.
the fast version.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart.
We want nays for this
Senator
one.
Flores.
Yay.
Senator Gutierrez,
Nay.
Senator Hall,
Yay.
Senator Hancock, Senator Hinojosa,
Nay.
Senator Huffman,
Nay.
Senator Hughes,
Nay.
Senator Johnson, Senator King,
Nay.
Senator Colcourse, Senator LaMantia, Senator Menendez, Senator Middleton, Senator Miles, Senator Nichols,
Nay.
Senator Parker,
Yay.
Senator Perry,
Nay.
Senator Swertner,
Yay.
Senator Sparks, Senator Springer,
Nay.
Senator West, Senator Whitmire, Senator Zaffarini. There being 22 nays and 8 yeas, the motion is denied. Members, you have 9 more to vote on. Members, we're taking up motion 14 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 2.
I don't know what Article 2 is. I'll look that up in a moment. But generally speaking, I mean, Ken Paxton's the one getting impeached. So if Ken Paxton is submitting a motion, then nay means the impeachment is not going the way that he wants.
You may pick up the motions.
So nay is what we're listening for again. I'll go look up the specifics of what Article 2 is. After we get a sense of where the vote is going, I'll let you know. Oh, that's painful, though, that silence. All right, this is from the Texas Tribune, heads up. That's where we're pulling our information. Again, we'll update the description in a moment. Did anybody hear, Foxy, I know you were there,
Thank you.
and Pinkerbell,
Clerk
I
will
believe I
call
saw
out the
you
votes.
as well. But did anybody here see the letter hack last night? And if so, what did you think of that wild idea for a show? Let me know in the comments.
Hancock, nay.
Nay is good. I'm excited about it,
Menendez, nay.
but I don't know if it'll genuinely be good. It'll be a
Birdwell,
fun
nay.
success or disaster, though.
Hall, yay. Perry, yay. Colcourse, yay. Betancourt, yay. Brayton, yay. Middleton, nay. Alvarado, nay. Eckhart, nay. King, nay. Sparks, nay. Flores, nay.
So we will get that recapped in a moment anyway. I'm just going to read out the articles to you. I'd like to read some comments first, though. Grace Sanddragon, yeah, sounds fun. B-Cat K, I did and would watch it. Fantastic. Shade Dragon, ooh, that too, the one who left Trump on red. Ha ha. Oh, Metal One. Honestly, I'm surprised that Texas Republicans even decided to impeach him, even though it's several years late. Ken must have done something really bad that upset them. Well, let's talk about what that thing was. You bring up a good point. Unmute, turn it down.
Nichols, nay. West, nay.
Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do.
Whitmore, nay.
So from the Texas Tribune, the Texas House adopted 20 articles of impeachment against State Attorney General Ken Paxton in late May on a 121-23 vote, with 60 Republicans in favor as 23 opposed. When the Senate adopted its rules for trial, however, senators elected to hear evidence on just 16 articles, holding 4 in abeyance that were largely related to 2015 criminal charges against Paxton for private business deals in 2011 and 2012. At the end of the trial, a majority of senators can vote to dismiss the 4 remaining articles. But if the motion to dismiss is rejected, the presiding officer will set a trial date on those 4 accusations.
Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock. Senator Hinojosa.
Yay.
Senator Huffman. Senator Hughes. Senator Johnson. Senator King.
Nay.
Senator Colcourse. Senator LaMantia. Senator Menendez.
Nay.
Senator Middleton. Senator Miles.
Nay.
Senator Nichols. Senator Parker. Senator
Getting
Perry,
nays on the
Senator
vote to
Senator Sparks.
toss out Article 2,
Senator
which I'll
Springer.
explain in a moment.
Senator West. Senator Whitmire. Senator Zaffrini. There being 22 nay votes, 8 yea votes, the motion is denied.
Article 2, Paxton is accused of misusing his official
Members, we
power
are now
to
taking up
issue...
motion 15 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General
Stand by.
Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 3. A yea vote is to
Okay.
grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion.
All right. So I'm going to read Article 2 and 3 super fast here. Article 2, disregard of official duty. Paxton, this alleges Paxton misused his official power to issue written legal opinions to help Paul avoid foreclosure, sales of properties owned by Paul and his businesses. Paxton concealed his actions by soliciting State Senator Brian Hughes, hello, Pinkerbell, a Republican from Mineola, to seek the Attorney General's opinion as a straw requester, like a straw man argument, saying, I want to rule this way, ask me how I should rule, or ask me to rule on it, basically. The resolution said, adding that Paxton also directed employees to reverse their legal conclusions in ways that helped Paul. Paul is real estate investor Nate Paul, a Paxton friend and political donor. Article 3 is disregard of official duty. That's what they're voting right now on tossing out. Paxton misused his official power to administer the state's public information laws, this alleges, by directing employees to act contrary to the law on an open records request for Department of Public Safety documents and in another unspecified case. I think that case would have been specified if that other motion Paxton filed was granted. I also think there's a good reason they want to keep that case unspecified, at least for the time being, but we'll hear in a moment.
Call out the vote.
Will they toss out Article 3?
Parker,
We'll find out.
yay. Hughes, nay. Miles, nay. Gutierrez, nay. Johnson, nay.
Pinkerbell, I might like a little bit
Springer, nay.
Brian Hughes. Sounds like he turned down Paxton
Fortner,
directly for
yay.
this.
Campbell, yay. Nichols, nay.
Sounds like this one's denied as well.
West,
We can
nay.
probably expect this for the rest of the charges, but we
Whitmer,
might
nay.
not. Right, we might not get it. There might be one that gets rejected. If one gets rejected, that will be fascinating, because that will be the one that all the other Republicans are tied to in some way, and it'll be, in my suspicion, a gigantic scandal in Texas. I don't know how much attention the whole world has right now, but Texas is I suspect a battleground state. Wicked Foxy Dragon, do they really think they won't get caught when they decide to do stupid? Yes, because historically they it's not that they're not caught. It's just that nobody does anything about it. Domenico, good to see you. Good to see you.
Hall, yay.
I say Dome still. I'm so sorry. Domenico. Domenico, it's good to see you. Pinkerbell, egos and feelings rule the day in the ledge. Oof.
Fort, yay. Creighton,
Pinkerbell, yeah, the only thing maybe getting dismissed are things that implicate other people. Yes, absolutely.
Alvarado, nay.
Public utility, they may get caught, they may get charged, they may get convicted, they may lose appeal. The odds are in their favor. I don't know, man. We are in the middle of a sea change. They were historically, but
Nay.
I think this criminal organization has pushed its luck too far, to the point where even other members of it. Here we go, a little closer. Even other members of it understand that the way they're behaving is simply not sustainable any longer.
Seven yeas, 23 nays.
I'm going to assume that the recount is the same and just read some of these other articles of impeachment so we can get familiar. Let me listen.
Confirming the vote, Senator Alvarado.
Okay, yeah, so he is confirming. Well, he confirms. Time to read some of those other articles. Let's do 4 and 5. Article 4, disregard of official duty. Paxton, this alleges, Paxton misused his power to administer public information laws to obtain previously undisclosed. So he misused his power for declaring what is public information to obtain previously undisclosed information held by his office for the purpose of providing the information to the benefit of Nate Paul, the resolution said. In other words, this big donor of mine, Nate Paul, could use this information, and they allege that he said, okay, even though he's not supposed to have it, we'll say that he's allowed to have it. Paxton misused Article 5 alleges, in disregard of official duty, Paxton misused his official powers by violating the laws regarding how outside attorneys should be appointed. Paxton hired Brandon Kamek, a lawyer of 5 years, to investigate a baseless complaint made by Paul, who had accused federal and state investigators of improperly searching his home and businesses. So in other words, using lawyers like Trump does to harass people and intimidate them. Kamek responded by issuing 30 grand jury subpoenas in an effort to help Paul, the resolution says. Right, so I think I talked over him saying that this is a motion to boot Article 4, which, for a
Please pick up the
reminder,
ballots.
is giving information that real estate developer Nate Paul wasn't supposed to have to Nate Paul for business benefit. Article 5 is the really interesting one there, though, between those two. Using a lawyer as just a hired thug. Oh, Foxy, I just saw the wicked chat. I will answer that question, Foxy, very shortly. That's a good question, though, regarding the Electoral College. So as they're gathering those votes, does anybody
Ballots
have...
collected. Clerk will read the votes.
All right, let's find out. I would assume nays are what we want to hear again for disregarding Article 4. Does anybody have questions that they want me to
Hancock,
crack
nay.
into?
Menendez, nay.
Okay.
Birdwell, nay. Hall, yay. Berry, nay. Colkhorst, yay.
What's interesting to
Bettencourt,
me here?
yay.
These votes have not been the same every time. Isn't that interesting? And I do wonder why that is. If any of you get into the House of Representatives or the Senate in this next year, number one, don't forget your old pal Jake. Number two, you got to let me in on the hot goss like this, on the how these people think aspect of it, which I think is perhaps more valuable than any one specific thing. Oh, get ready.
Blanco,
People
nay.
are gonna say she was stuffing the
Lamontia, nay.
ballots.
Parker, yay. Hughes, nay. Miles, nay.
So, because you singled him out,
Gutierrez,
Tinkerbell,
nay.
Hughes is just like my guiding light on
Johnson,
this.
nay.
He's the fella that
Springer, nay.
I'm using
Wartner,
to
nay.
check the general tone of things. He's in the
Campbell, yay.
no Ken Paxton side. Public utility pro-birth is not pro-life. I would agree with that assessment. Shade Dragon, not everyone is good, not every one is Christian, and fetuses are not babies. Deal with it. I would largely agree with all those statements. Pinkerbell, it's so crazy how the dude he did all this for is getting off scot-free. Yeah. It is. I understand why. But it's there's not an
Affirming the vote,
acceptable
Senator
explanation.
Alvarado. Senator Betancourt. Senator Birdwell.
Nay.
Senator Blanco. Senator Campbell.
Yay.
Senator Creighton.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart. Senator Flores. Senator Gutierrez.
Yay.
Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock.
I want to make sure I
Senator
catch
Hinojosa.
this the reading of the
Senator
next thing
Huffman.
they're voting on.
Senator Hughes.
It's not
Senator
good to
Johnson.
assume.
Senator King. Senator Colcourse. Senator Lamontia. Senator Menendez.
Yay.
Senator Middleton. Senator Miles.
Yay.
Senator Nichols. Senator Parker.
Yay.
Senator Perry.
Yay.
Senator Swertner. Senator Sparks.
Yay.
Senator Springer.
Yay.
Senator West. Senator Whitmire.
Yay.
Senator Zaffarini. 24 nay votes, 6 yea votes. The motion is denied.
Let's take a note here of what's happening.
Members, we're now
Let him
taking up
read
motion
this
11,
first.
submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 5. A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your ballots.
Okay, so Ken Paxton knows who these people are. He knows how they work. What's he doing right now? He's objected to every single article of impeachment. Does Ken Paxton think that one's going to pass? One of his objections is going to pass, but the others won't? No. But it doesn't cost him anything. And he knows that for the simple effort, the very small effort of writing a comma and 2 words, Article X, Y, Z, Article X, comma, Article Y, comma, Article Z, he knows that he adds 5 minutes onto every one of these. They got to vote. They got to have the vote counted and recounted and so on and so forth.
Read the votes.
Nay, 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 yay, yay, nay, 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 nay. Something along those lines.
Flores, nay.
So what can we learn from that? She's going to count them, then it's going to get reread. All right. What can we learn from that? Well, run politicians ragged. Even if they go through with all these, which it looks like they will remember that bucking up against Ken Paxton was a long, exhausting process. And they're human beings. And they might try to weasel their way out of work next time rather than stick with this. Use that. If you know that a a politician is going to be somewhere where it would be embarrassing for them to fail to answer a question from a well-meaning community member, say they're speaking at a public event or they take questions from the audience, ask them questions that will be uncomfortable for them to answer if you don't like the behavior that they're displaying, if only to wear them down. Use some Republican tactics. And if you know, for example, that they're going to have the same email address, no matter what, schedule 5 or 6 emails to go out over time and understand that it's their problem, not yours. If that's too many emails, oh well. Really rely on that. They're paid to be there. And while I am all for being very kind to service workers, these motherfuckers have been pampered for too long. So we really should stop thinking of them as our rulers, because in this country it ain't how it works. They are employees, and frankly, they've gotten too used to not working for a living. So just generally speaking, let's take a page from Paxton's book here. Literally the only page worth taking from Paxton's book. And when we get the opportunity to, make them run. Make them sweat. There is benefit, even if there's nothing that you will gain otherwise, there is benefit in and of itself in exhausting your opposition. Let's hear
Confirming your vote, Senator Alvarado.
nay.
Senator
And then move
Betancourt.
on to Article 6.
Yay.
Senator Birdwell.
Yay.
Senator Blanco. Senator Campbell.
Yay.
Senator Creighton.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart.
Yay.
Senator Flores.
Yay.
Senator Gutierrez.
Nay.
Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock. Senator Hinojosa.
Yay.
Senator Huffman.
Yay.
Senator Hughes.
Yay.
Senator Johnson. Senator King.
Nay.
Senator Colcourse. Senator Lamontia. Senator Menendez. Senator Middleton. Senator Miles.
Yay.
Senator Nichols. Senator Parker. Senator Perry. Senator Swertner.
Yay.
Senator Sparks.
Yay.
Senator Springer.
Yay.
Senator West.
Yay.
Senator Whitmire.
Yay.
Senator Zaffarini. 22 nays, 8 yeas. The motion is denied.
All right, let's see if he goes to the next article.
Members now taking up motion 17 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 6. A yea vote is to grant the motion, and a nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your voting form.
We can safely assume that's going to go the same. I saw a question I want to jump to while they're taking that vote. Metal One said, "How long will this trial last?" It's not a national trial, so this won't negatively impact Texas Republicans unless it lasts and is televised all day for each day in multiple days or weeks. Here's the thing. I'm not sure I agree with that. It needing to be a national trial, that is. First of all, with the extent of gerrymandering in Texas, it's become an easy narrative to just say Texas is an insanely red state. It's not as red as it appears to be. It's actually come closer than it ever has in the last, 30 years to flipping blue, even with the gerrymandering. And people are sick to death of Republican rule in Texas, or at least in Pinkerbell, this is my understanding. Even if, correct me from your impressions, but this is what I'm gathering. Even if they don't specifically mention the Republican Party with the things they're frustrated with, they're sick of the power going out in the winter. 1 second. Oh, she's reading. Okay. they're sick of the power going out in the winter, and they're sick of the quality of life constantly going down. Republicans have been in charge for a good long time in Texas. And this trial, whether he's found guilty or not, or guilty, I shouldn't say it, whether he's impeached or not, this is a trial that will be an embarrassment. There's just no way for it to not be an embarrassment to the Republicans. So I think we should pay attention to this in order, especially if you live in Texas, in order to articulate the point that this is a Republican Party problem and not a Ken Paxton problem. This is an issue which has existed for a long time and continues to exist. The other ones just haven't gotten caught yet. And the more familiar you are with this, the more persuasive you will be. And I think the idea here is going to be, yes, motivate blue voters who only kind of follow this stuff and don't really go to the polls because they don't think there's any point. And also, grab some of those super libertarians. Grab some of those MAGA people who just can't stand the ruling class in the United States, and convince some of them to try something else. Or at the very least, embarrass them enough with stuff like this that they simply decide in 2024, I won't vote for a Democrat because I've bought into all that malarkey that we're sold. But I'm not going to use my lunch break to go vote for these corrupt people. I don't like them either. So we would like to drive down participation for traditional Republican voters. Sway some if we can, sure, but mostly drive down participation there. And encourage progressives. I'm talking folks in Austin, folks in where Texarkana, the places with bigger populations, to get out there and vote blue. Try something different.
Yay.
Senator Betancourt.
Yay.
Birdwell.
Yay.
Senator Blanco. Senator Campbell.
Yay.
Senator Creighton.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart. Senator Flores.
Yay.
Senator Gutierrez. Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock. Senator Hinojosa.
Yay.
Senator Huffman.
Yay.
Senator Hughes.
Yay.
Senator Johnson. Senator King.
Yay.
Senator Colcourse.
Yay.
Senator LaMantia.
Nay.
Senator Menendez.
Yay.
Senator Middleton. Senator Miles. Senator Nichols.
Yay.
Senator Parker.
Delighted to be
Senator Perry.
joined by royalty
Senator Swartman.
today.
Senator Sparks.
Yay.
Senator Springer.
It was a bunch of nays. We know where this is going. Delighted to be joined by royalty today. Mr. Solo. Hello. Shade Dragon, George Bush, IDN, who I don't know who George Butch is, but it sounds like an excellent name for a pity. Oh my God, it does.
Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss Article 8, A yea vote is to grant the motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your ballot.
I'm going to listen to the count on the next one. I wonder if it'll be the same. Let's look at what Article 8 is. We'll do 7 and 8. I'm going to turn that volume way down for now. Okay, Article 7. Pax alleges misapplication of public resources and reads, Paxton misused public resources by directing employees to conduct a quote-unquote sham investigation into the whistleblower's complaints, leading the Attorney General's office to publish a lengthy written report containing false or misleading statements in Paxton's defense. Again, this is just how Republicans act when they're in office. It really is. It's just he got caught so thoroughly that they can't afford to pretend like it's anything other than it is. And I'm sure in the course of the impeachment, we'll find out exactly why this time they are not accepting it. But anyway, Paxton misused public resources by directing employees, to conduct a fake investigation that was always going to end with saying that Paxton was a god king and therefore infallible. In August 2021, the Attorney General's office issued an unsigned 374-page internal report clearing him of wrongdoing in the allegations made by the fired employees. So he wasted taxpayer money to say, all right, you group, go write me a long report about how I didn't do anything wrong.
Nay.
Abuse of power.
Birdwell, yay.
Let's engage in some wild speculation, by the way. I know that none of us actually know. So this is acknowledged speculation. You don't have to feel so bad. What do you think is the cause of this sudden turn? Why do Texas Republicans suddenly appear to care about corruption? With the knowledge that Ken Paxton is one of many, basically any Republican who has ever held public office. The blatant self-serving corruption is obvious. Is it that it was just so blatant? Is it that he just got caught so thoroughly? Is it that employees were speaking out against him? Is it that others are wrapped up in this somehow, and they think getting rid of Paxton will spare them? Is it that a larger investigation would have overturned rocks with too many Republican bugs under it? What do you think is the cause of the Republican Party for once holding one of its own accountable? This is not unusual for the Democrats. This is bizarre for the Republicans and the sign of changing times.
Whitmire, nay.
Let me know in the comments. I'll have a
Huffman,
look.
nay. Hinojosa, nay. Zaffarini, nay. Ten yeas, 20 nays.
See, that number keeps changing.
Confirming the vote. Senator Alvarado?
I'm going to assume it's confirmed. That number keeps changing, and that makes me really curious. Do they really not have unanimous agreement on whether they should look into all of these things? Domenico. Sorry, the thing. Is it gonna crash? Okay. Sorry, it was freezing up for a second. I'm not ignorant. If there's information I do not know, I'm willing to learn of it, maintain an open mind, have a heart, make a fair and reasonable selection for 1.2 billion American lives. We gotta. What is the American population is not 1.2 billion, but let me see. What is the population of the USA? Should be 300. It's 331.9 million. So a lot still. And I appreciate the attitude regardless. Public utility, it's a calculation of cost benefit, largely driven by advisors and consultants. Yeah. Yeah, they're moving on to Article 8, and Paxton's motion was denied. I agree with that. And who...
May collect the ballots.
One moment here. Oh, they're collecting the ballots. All right. very quickly, reading the other thing. Oh, Domenico, it will be someday. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, he's talking about aborted babies, says Shade Dragon. Ah, okay, fair enough. If that's your viewpoint. Let's keep it to the Ken Paxton stuff though, as much as you can, because it's very difficult for me to keep track of multiple things at once, and I will get sucked into other conversations very easily. Right-wing retcon. Sorry, I was
Balanced
incoherent.
collection.
I
Clerk
shouldn't
will
try typing faster
vote.
than I can. Oh, I hear you. Wicked Foxy Dragon, because someone, in answer to the question, because someone showed the wrong person evidence and he got caught. Oh, for
Senator
sure.
Blanco? No.
Yeah.
Senator Lamantia? No.
Okay. So, well, that's going. Yeah, I think you guys are right, and it probably is a combination of all of those things to some degree. But I wonder if the articles themselves will reveal a little bit more. Article 8, which is coming up, Paxton misused his official powers by, quote-unquote, concealing his wrongful acts in connection with the whistleblower complaints. To settle the whistleblower's lawsuit, Paxton agreed to pay them $3.3 million from public funds. See, I think that's it. I think they know if they don't do anything, it's a scandal. The people of Texas will be like, okay, so now we're just giving them money to cover up their crimes. That's the best I can do, though. I don't really. That's about as firm as Jello. The agreement conspicuously delayed the discovery of facts and testimony at trial to Paxton's advantage and deprived voters of the opportunity to make an informed decision in the 2022 election for Attorney General. The resolution said. The next one is bribery. We'll read that.
Yay.
Oh, yay, we will.
Yay. Senator Colcourse? Yay. Senator Betancourt? Yay. Senator Creighton? Yay.
Folks, this started juicy and it gets juicier. I think this is probably what they're voting on now, Article 9. I'll make sure we're on track for the next one, but here it is. Article 9, constitutional bribery. Paxton engaged, this is according to the, this is what's alleged. Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Article 16 of the Texas Constitution when he benefited from Paul's decision to employ a woman with whom Paxton was having an extramarital affair. Paul received favorable legal assistance from, or specialized access to, the Office of the Attorney General, the resolution said. So in exchange, it alleges that in exchange for...
In court.
Yay.
Senator Birdwell.
Okay.
Sen-
In exchange for employing Paxton's mistress in what I assume is a do-nothing job or a show-up job,
Yay.
Senator Hancock.
he
Senator Hinojosa.
gave out
Senator
benefits.
Huffman. Senator Hughes. Senator Johnson. Senator King.
Yay.
Senator Colcourse. Senator Lamantia. Senator Menendez.
Allegedly.
Senator Middleton. Senator Miles. Senator Nichols. Senator Parker. Senator Perry. Senator Swertner. Senator Sparks. Senator Springer. Senator West. Senator Whitmire. Senator Zaffarini. There being 21 nays, 9 yeas, the motion is denied.
All right, what's the next one?
We're now
9 and
taking up
10.
motion 20, submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled, Motion to Dismiss Articles 9 and 10.
Oh, both.
A yea
Okay.
vote is a grant the motion. A nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your vote on your voting form.
Well, we can pretty well guess that's going to be a double nay. Let me turn that down. Let's, so 9 and 10 are together. Oh, well, they're both constitutional bribery. Let's read Article 10. Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Article 16. You know what? Start doing it like this. I'll put it in the chat as well. Paxton engaged in, oh my God. Let me see if I can do this. All right. Well, they're counting. Article 10. Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Article 16 of the Texas Constitution when Paul provided extensive renovations to Paxton's Austin home. In return, Paul received favorable legal help from Paxton's agency. Let's see. Paxton engaged in when he provided extensive. Okay. So, yeah, one of the things Paul did to pay Paxton for in their mutually beneficial scumbag relationship was extensive renovations to his home, and for that he got favorable legal help from the Attorney General. Domenico, what you can do. So this is basically another Republican problem that we are to solve. Have the law appropriately sentence all guilty of crimes, make sure the laws are fair and just, and compensate the lives who were damaged, ruined, and all of whom suffered as a result of illegal acts committed by those who are guilty. True, but the next Attorney General would have to arrange that, because this is just a vote to kick him out of office, basically. The criminal trials, that is something that we will have to probably end up making a big deal about. As you point out, we will have to solve the problem again. We'll have to make a big deal about to ensure that it's an actual criminal trial and not a kangaroo court, which is arranged for us to go, well, that was very uncouth, and so his punishment will be that he isn't allowed to go to his favorite fancy club for a weekend because he'll be listed as having gone to a seminar about ethics. He won't actually be forced to attend the seminar, of course. He's a rich conservative, but if he shows up at his fancy club, then he'll get stern looks. Yeah, to make sure that doesn't happen, we're gonna have to make a big damn deal about it. Let's hope it starts with his
Yay.
impeachment.
Betancourt, yay. Creighton, yay. Middleton, nay. Alvarado, nay. Eckhart, nay.
Exactly. Domenico then says, then vote to kick him out and let's get it started. Yes. I think that's the exact attitude we need. It sucks that we have to. Let me just let's
6
just feel
yeas,
this.
24 nays.
Cool.
Confirming
Let's
the
just
vote. Senator Alvarado?
feel this together for a moment. It sucks that we have to. It's a disgrace that we have to. But since we have to, let's goddamn do it.
Senator Flores?
Hell yeah.
Senator Gutierrez? Senator Hall?
Next up should be, strangely enough, Article 15.
Senator Hinojosa? Senator Huffman?
If you're wondering why the jump from 10 to 15, it's because those four missing ones, those will be decided through a different vote in the end. We can go over why if you're interested.
Senator Middleton? Senator
But it would be
Miles?
after the whole
Senator Nichols.
impeachment.
Yay.
Senator Parker?
Yay.
Senator Perry? Senator Perry?
He might be able to object to them now.
Senator Perry? Nay? We can't hear you. So, Senator Swertner? Senator Sparks? Senator Springer?
Yay.
Senator West? Senator Whitmire? Senator
I want to find
Zafir?
out if they go to 15 or not.
24 nay votes, 6 yea votes. The motion is denied. We're now taking up motion 21, submitted by the respondent Attorney General Paxton, the motion is entitled Motion to Dismiss or Hold in Abeyance Articles 16 through 20. A yea vote is to grant the
Oh.
motion, a nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your ballot.
Okay. Well, they read those off. So I probably missed Article 15. But while they read those off, let's just power through 16 through 20. I'm not going to put it, there's a character limit, I forgot, in the comments. Domenico says, I concur he does not deserve to go to his fancy club. We both know and feel it is probably jail. That makes sense, yeah. Shade Dragon, you're cracking me up. Baker Bell, are those the 4 that got stripped out? Yes, they are. And let's read 15 through 20. We'll do it fast. Article 15, Paxton made or caused others to make multiple false or misleading statements in his office's response to the whistleblower's claims in an effort to mislead the public and public officials. In August 2021, the Attorney General's office issued an unsigned 374-page blah, blah, blah internal report clearing of wrongdoing. Okay, it's a continuation of earlier. Article 16, conspiracy and attempted conspiracy. Attempted being Pinkerbell with your man Hughes. While in office, Paxton acted with others to conspire or attempt to conspire to commit the crimes described in the articles. Rico, coming back to mind. Article 17, misappropriation of public resources. Paxton misused his official powers by causing employees to perform services for his benefit and the benefit of others. The committee's investigators said Paxton had diverted employees to perform work that benefited Paul. So you and I were paying these folks, and then they went and worked for some rich landlord. God, I hate these people so much. Costing the state at least $72,000 in taxpayer-funded labor. He also hired Kamek for $25,000. So that, hiring Kamek there, that's just a straight bribe, huh? Article 18, dereliction of duty. Paxton violated the Texas Constitution, his oaths of office, plus statutes and public policy against public officials, acting against the public interest. Let me just listen real quick. Oh, there really isn't anything. Okay. Dereliction of duty, that was 18. Article 19, Paxton engaged in private and public misconduct described in the articles that indicate...
Senator West, do you want to approach the bench or the clerk? You may come up.
So it sounds like he wants to vote on yay on some, nay on others. Interesting. I had a feeling something was happening. I don't know why. I was just reading it, and I thought this would be the least convenient time for some drama to happen. And now it's happening. While they're talking, the short ones, those are the most interesting to me. What private misconduct? What are they referring to? Article 19, Paxton engaged in private and public misconduct described in the articles that indicates his unfitness for office, the resolution said. I don't see I guess private being, that'll get aired out a little bit. Article 20, abuse of public trust. Paxton subverted the lawful operation of Texas government by using, misusing, or failing to use his official powers and obstructed the fair and impartial administration of justice, bringing the Attorney General's office into scandal and disrepute, which harmed the public's confidence in the state's government. Those are the articles.
Read the votes.
Okay.
All right, let's find out.
Yay.
Had some drama there.
Johnson, nay.
Nays are what we want.
Hancock, nay. Menendez, nay. Birdwell, nay. Hall, yay. Perry, yay.
Well, that something
Springer, nay.
joke about Perrier. I
West,
didn't get a ton of sleep.
nay.
Imagine I had something witty
Wertner,
ready to go.
yay.
And then imagine
Campbell,
whatever that thing is, and
yay.
imagine I said that.
Nichols,
It's an
nay.
IKEA joke.
Whitmer,
Oh,
nay.
shit.
Huffman, nay.
God bless y'all for putting up with me.
Hinojosa, nay. Zaffarini, nay.
We're getting
Betancourt,
nays. Okay.
yay.
Have a look at those comments. Domenico, what you can do, yikes, something to consider of hate. Those whom hate actually hope you hate, so you can join their ways. Something about the power of suggestion. Yeah, maybe. I do think there is strength and there is defiance in kindness, especially when it's unexpected. I think that lefty kindness is taken advantage of quite often. But I think we gain more than we lose with that. The only issue I have culturally with that these days is when it's mistaken for weakness. And I think the right in this country, but really all around the world, needs to understand that not only is it not weakness, but the people on the left are far stronger emotionally, usually physically, but emotionally, financially, generally speaking. When you're talking about the median voter, yes, in just about every way, they're much stronger people than those on the right, and it's because we live in healthier environments.
Flores.
Yay.
Senator Gutierrez. Senator Hall.
Yay.
Senator Hancock.
Oh, and I think it's to all of our benefit to remind some of the fringier right-wing elements of that from time to time.
Senator Middleton. Senator Miles.
Yay.
Senator Nichols.
Yay.
Senator Parker.
Yay.
Senator Perry.
Oh, thank you, Domenico.
Senator Swertner.
Yay.
Senator
Tinkerbell
Sparks.
for the rest of it. Oh, yeah.
Senator Springer. Senator West. Senator Whitmire.
Yeah,
Senator
Tinkerbell,
Zaffarini.
private misconduct.
21 nays, 9 yeas. The motion is denied.
Using public funds to remodel his mistress's kitchen, and general sneakiness. Yeah, that's well put. Yes. Shade Dragon.
Members, this is your last motion to take up. This is motion number 10, submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Exclude Evidence Gathered in Violation of the Law. A yea vote is to grant the motion. A nay vote is to deny the motion. Please mark your ballot.
That's a wild one. I'll have comments in a moment. Let me finish reading that, though. Shade Dragon, investing in companies that make body bags and masks before the pandemic, then vote to not keep people in their homes is disgusting. Yeah. Tinkerbell, bruh, same. I slept like shit last night for no reason. It's a weird time of the year. I feel like somewhere in our souls we can sense that the Halloween's coming. Shade Dragon, our kindness is frequently mistaken for weakness. The part that annoys me is when our party does the same. I'm tired of holding my nose and voting for damage reduction and controlled opposition. First of all, I agree with that, but second, what I worry is that we will burn some of our precious energy trying to find Goldilocks candidates when what we need, I think, to be working on, literally starting now in 2023, is bullying the existing candidates. Make them regret taking their cushy government jobs. And make them regret it because they don't actually want to be there, the people who are there now, to help you. But you can insist that they do because they signed up for it. And you can make their lives awful just by being a persistent, responsible citizen and contacting your representatives regularly, unless they actually do some things that are of use. And I think that's where we should put our efforts. And I think that will also deeply affect... Oh, one on a second, the quality of candidate we get going forward. Thoughts on that last one? I had them and they're gone.
Springer, nay. Fortner, yay.
Oh, the
Campbell,
unlawful
yay.
collecting of information. Yeah, if it was an unlawful collecting of information, let's take a page out of Republicans' book there and say, if it was unlawful, why didn't the cops do anything? Oh, well. Are you saying that information isn't true, Ken Paxton? Or are you just saying you don't like how they got it? Look, if we were dealing with a different party, I would give a damn. But we're not, so I don't. We know how they behave. They use the rules as written as an excuse to behave however they want. They interpret them different on Monday and Tuesday, depending on what they feel like doing on Monday and Tuesday. So this mildly nonsensical request, which sounds very serious, just because of what Republican politicians have earned reputationally. I'm going to begin by assuming that Paxton's wasting our damn time. Here's all I'm interested in. Did he do the thing or not? And the way we find that out is by beginning with an impeachment trial where the people get to see evidence. And if it appears to be criminal, once we've discovered what he did or did not do, if it appears to be criminal, then I want the law to open up another investigation and take it to trial, assuming they can prove that the things we saw now did indeed happen.
Senator Creighton.
Yay.
Senator Eckhart. Senator Flores. Senator Gutierrez.
Yay.
Senator Hancock.
But the point of having a lower standard here is that these are our leaders. And so we do have a lower standard to prove that they are unworthy of being in the office, because being in the office gives you immunity from the people who investigate the higher standard that the rest of us enjoy for criminal prosecution.
Senator Swertner.
Yay.
Senator Sparks.
Yay.
Senator Springer.
In other words, we're allowed to be less sympathetic and we're allowed to be less cautious with this trial because it's just an impeachment trial.
Motion is denied.
Boom. You hear that, Paxton? You rat mother.
Members
you
and
hear
those in the
that?
gallery and watching, the senators voted on the rules 25-3, and part of those rules say that all other pretrial motions shall be ruled on by the presiding officer, which is myself. I'll begin with motion 2, submitted by the House Board of Managers. This motion is entitled Motion to Clarify Certain Senate Rules Governing the Impeachment Trial of Warren Kenneth Paxton, Jr. This motion was partially addressed by my August 9th exhibit production order. Additionally, the manager's request for clarification on timing has been addressed through an agreement of the parties last week. For those watching, I'll clarify the timekeeping for the trial moving forward. There has been much discussion on the impeachment rule, especially number 17 on time limitations. Each side of the House managers and the Attorney General, Paxton, has 1 hour for opening statements, 24 hours for presentation of evidence, 1 hour for rebuttal evidence, and 1 hour for final arguments. That's a total of 27 hours for each side.
And we're going to cover it all
Both parties,
today.
The managers
I'm kidding.
and Attorney General Paxton are in agreement on this issue, which pleases the court. Managers, in this motion, you state, at a minimum, you seek clarification that the time spent by an opposing party on cross-examination will be counted only against the party conducting the cross-examination. Attorney General
Republicans
Paxton's
know Republicans.
team, you responded that time spent questioning a witness whether via direct or cross-examination, is charged against the side conducting the questioning. Based on your agreement of last week, this is how the clock will run. For example, House managers, when you call a witness, any direct questioning of the witness counts against your 24 hours. When Paxton's team questions the witness on cross, time will be counted against your clock. I also want to note that the clock will keep running through routine objections. However, if I find that it's being abused by either side, I can always use my discretion to give back the time to the other party. To summarize, so we're clear, what everyone has agreed to, both parties have a total of 24 hours for presentation of evidence, which includes direct, cross-examination, redirect, and recross. Anytime a party questions a witness, whether via direct, cross, redirect, recross, the clock will continue to run. And again, in addition to the 24 hours, each party has 1 hour for opening statements, if they choose to make those, 1 hour for rebuttal, and 1 hour for closing arguments. I've also told both sides, if they do not use the full hour allotted for their opening statement, any remaining time will be added to their 24 hours for presentation of evidence. For example, if one side only uses 30 minutes, they will have 24 and a half hours of time. Finally, managers requested to change the rules regarding the use of wireless mobile devices. A rule change must be submitted in writing during trial and requires a 24-hour layout period. Accordingly, this motion has been addressed and no further action shall be taken.
Here's the rules of the event we will be watching.
Now I will take up motion 24 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Compel Discovery from House Managers. This motion was addressed by my July 12th discovery order and August 9th exhibit production order. Therefore, no further action on this motion will be taken.
You already said no.
Now I'll take up motion 12 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Exclude Inadmissible Evidence. This addresses the issue of political contributions. Because this information is readily available from the Texas Ethics Commission for everyone to read, this motion is denied.
You can't use the fact that this guy donated a lot of money to me.
Submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion for Notice of Brady Material and Notice of Trial Exhibits. The motion was addressed by my July 12th discovery order and August 9th exhibit production order. Accordingly, no further action is needed on this.
In other words, let me look at what you've got.
Now we'll take up motion 3 submitted by the House Board of Managers. The motion is entitled Request to Clarify the July 12th discovery order, or alternatively, motion for protective order regarding documents produced to Warren Kenneth Paxton Jr. pursuant to the Senate July 12th discovery order. This motion was addressed by my July 20th reiteration of the orders of the court. Accordingly, no further action.
Says Lieutenant Governor, whatever, Dan something. He looks
now we'll take up motion 1 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion for Pretrial Scheduling Order or Pretrial Conference. This motion was addressed by my July 12th discovery order and August 9th exhibit production order. Accordingly, no further action is needed.
Hit us. Give him that medicine.
Now I will take up motion 4 submitted by the respondent, Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled Motion to Preclude Attorney General Warren Kenneth Paxton Jr. from being compelled to testify.
Doesn't need explanation.
This court notes that many factors and circumstances in this proceeding lean more on criminal in nature. The rules require a standard of beyond a reasonable doubt, which is reserved for criminal cases. Exculpatory evidence was required to be produced consistent with criminal cases. The rules require a plea to the court to be guilty or not guilty, which are the pleas exclusively used in criminal cases. Judgments of the court of impeachment are entered as acquittal or conviction, which are operative terms for judgments in criminal cases. And the House of Managers have repeatedly compared the actions of the House of Representatives to a grand jury, as they preferred the articles of impeachment. Grand juries are utilized only in criminal cases. Therefore, the motion is granted. The Attorney General cannot be compelled to testify. This is consistent with the reasoning and judgment in the United States Supreme Court, Boyd versus the United States.
So
The
we're not going to
court's
hear
ruling is clear. You may not call
from
the Attorney General
Paxton
as a witness.
directly. At least they can't insist upon it.
Finally, I will take up motion 5 by Respondent Attorney General Paxton. The motion is entitled
Why do you
Motion
think that
Challenging
is? I
Jurors
don't
for
know.
Cause. That motion is denied.
Sorry, I was flapping my lips.
To both parties, what we will do at this point is, and to the
Little
members,
bump.
it's a little odd today because we have a break coming close to the lunch break. So we'll take a short 10-minute break at this one.
Perfect.
Because we're going to break around 12:15 for lunch. We'll take a 10-minute break. Be back in 10 minutes. Before you leave, wait a minute, I haven't dismissed you yet. Okay? To both parties, when we come back, I'll have a short statement about the rules. Then we will read the articles of impeachment. Attorney General Paxton will be asked how you plead after each article. And then we will swear in witnesses, those who are here, and then we will break for
I
lunch.
can't not see
and
that.
after lunch will be when the opening statement for those parties that choose to make that will be given. So that's the schedule. It's 11:20. Be back on the floor, ready to go at 11:30. Thank you.
We're going to talk in a second. We're going to talk right now, it turns out. All right, so here's how the day is going to go. Got to cover this. I meant to. I'm sorry. I said we were going to have like a normal 2 for Tuesday, and this was not planned. This is going to be a long ass stream, and your old pal Jake won't be offended if you got things to do. But I find it fascinating, and there's just no way. There's no way I cannot hear what Ken Paxton's got to say about all this. I'm assuming he's going to say not guilty or not whatever. I didn't do it. But I want to see him sweat. I just want to see him sweat. I would also like to have a moment where we're not rushed to read over those articles again while we're looking at the same screen, in part because they're just so darn juicy. But first, let's read your comments. Domenico, what you can do. I'm going to take another whack at it. I apologize. Domenico, what you can do, that is part of the whole get money out of politics thing. Yeah, let me jump back up. What you said earlier, we will do our best. 'Tis all we can do. Anyways, friends, love for the wicked progressives. I pledge allegiance to the wicked and the good of the United States of America. Thank you, man. Hell yeah. Tinkerbell, only 1 hour for rebuttal of evidence. Yeah, they need to get the girl who does the first readings in to present evidence. She talks faster than anyone in the state. Good point. That would be delightful and necessary given the volumes they have. Public utility. Will you do a director's cut? Clips of meaningful, useful parts. Yes, that is my plan. This is essentially, even though I'm not actually recording this right now, I'm going to use the live playback later to just do a summary of this. But the process of watching it all, I gotta tell you, I will enjoy, and it's going to take a while because I don't know what they will say. It will literally all be a surprise to me. But since we're here, since we have the article up, since we have the link already in the description, here one more time is the reason this guy's getting impeached. Again, this is from the Texas Tribune. Here are the 20 articles of impeachment. And the summary. The Texas House adopted 20 articles of impeachment against State Attorney General Ken Paxton in late May on a yada, yada, yada. 60 Republicans in favor and only 23 opposed. Paxton was immediately suspended from office without pay. Just take a moment and appreciate that. This guy's not draining your tax dollars to do his crimes right now. Hell yeah. Upon approval of House Resolution 2377, when the Senate adopted its rules for the trial, however, senators elected to hear evidence on 16 articles. This is important. Holding 4 in abeyance, meaning for later, that were largely related to 2015 criminal charges. against Paxton for private business deals in 2011 and 2012. At the end of the trial, a majority of senators can vote to dismiss the 4 remaining articles, but if the motion to dismiss is rejected, the presiding officer will set a trial date on those 4 accusations. In other words, we are not going to deal with those 4 things of these 20 that were related to earlier scandals, just earlier stuff. And we will get another vote on that, but it will happen after everything else. All right, let's talk about what he is going to be looked at for. Whoopsie daisy. Article 1, disregard of official duty. Paxton violated the duties of his office by failing to protect a charitable organization by directing employees to intervene in a lawsuit between the nonprofit MIT Foundation and Austin real estate investor Nate Paul, a Paxton friend and political donor. Paxton harmed the MIT Foundation in an effort to benefit Paul, the resolution said. Guys literally effing up charities in order to help a landlord. This is the most Republican thing I maybe have ever heard. Article 2, disregard of official duty. Paxton misused his official power to issue written legal opinions to help Paul avoid foreclosure sales of properties owned by Paul and his businesses. Literally just rewriting the law so his rich friend gets to go on being rich. Paxton concealed his actions by soliciting State Senator Brian Hughes to seek the Attorney General's opinion as a straw requester, the resolution said, adding that Paxton also directed employees to reverse their legal conclusions in ways that helped Paul. Article 3, disregard of official duty. Paxton misused his official power to administer the state's public information laws by directing employees to act contrary to the law on an open records request. And we read the latter half, but let's just power through this. Article 4, disregard of official duty. Paxton misused his power to administer public information laws to obtain previously undisclosed information. That's the stuff that he gave to Paul. Article 5. I'm going to just try summing this up each in one sentence now. Paxton hired Brandon Kamek, a lawyer of 5 years, to investigate a baseless complaint made by Paul, who had accused federal and state, blah, 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 using attorney Kamek as to intimidate people that were investigating his real estate friend. Disregard of official duty. Paxton violated his duties of office by firing or retaliating against employees in violation of the Texas Whistleblower Act, which protects public employees who make good faith reports of potentially illegal action to law enforcement. Paxton terminated the employees without good cause or due process in retaliation for reporting his illegal acts and improper conduct. And then public-private campaign to harass them. Misapplication of public resources. Disregard of official duty. 2 charges of bribery in various forms. We went over those. False statements, lying about the bribery, lying about everything else up until now. Conspiracy and attempted conspiracy, conspiring with others to do these crimes. Misappropriation of public resources. That was the... that's when we paid for employees to perform work for this real estate guy. And hiring Kamek to be a thug for $25,000. Dereliction of duty, of course. Unfitness for office, just generally. And abuse of public trust. There it is. Essentially, he's in trouble for his dealings... His apparent business relationship with a real estate developer. That's why this guy's in trouble. Let's see what the wicked community has to say. Domenico, what you can do. Unite 320 million Americans who are good and are not with those 80 million Americans who clearly are not. Yeah. Tinkerbell, he already made off with the bag, Jake. Yeah, Tao and Jack. Oh wow, Paxton's impeachment is actually happening. Good to see you all. Good to see you too. And yes, he is scum. Agreed, Tinkerbell. Oh boy, says Wicked Foxy Dragon. Zoe's arguing with you again. Zoe, you're a good girl. Come on, be a sweetheart. If you want to argue a little, that's fine. Public utility status quo, yeah. Tinkerbell, 25,000. These politicians are so cheaply bought. Yeah, that was a lawyer. Lawyers are cheaply bought. But yeah, they really are. The anti-corporatist Jesus, TMR, and you. Damn it, I really need more sleep. Was driving until 2. Oh my God. Was driving until 2 and driving again in 2.5 hours. Jesus, man. That's wild. Is the Majority Report covering this live? Are they really? That's intriguing. I gotta tell you, I don't mind letting them just do the work on pulling out all the on pulling out all the important parts. But once in a while, I should get off my duff and actually do that. So I shall. Also, I don't know what it is about well, let's pop over there for a second. I don't know what it is about this guy. He has been blatantly evil for too long. Like he's been doing this stuff, and we have been hearing about it in one way or another. Literally since I started in the news industry. That's how long this crime spree has been. I developed a set of professional skills. I became an intern and worked my way up to executive producer, and then made friends, which I will keep for life, and switched careers and met all of you during this guy's crime spree. I'm sick of this guy. I want him I want him in prison. And it's an embarrassment that he is not. And he's not the only one that I can say all those things of and have them be true. But for some reason, Ken Paxton in particular, that mother Paxton, I want to see his ass out. He's not as bad as Trump, but I think part of what annoys me about him is that he's just... people have just been okay with his particular brand of corruption. And I don't know why. At least people were vocal about their hatred of Trump. But with Paxton... well, I could explain why if no, I can't. I was going to say if I'm generous, but like this is really something that the DOJ should have intervened in years and years ago. Like he shouldn't have even had the opportunity to do half the stuff on this, because he should have been already serving significant time. But we did used to be in a country that refused to prosecute not powerful conservatives, much less a state attorney general or any politician for that matter. I mean, what, Eamon Bundy pointed firearms at police officers, and the police officers just left. They left rather than arrest the guy. Would they have done that with a black person? Would they have done that if it was a hippie commune in the woods? I'm ranting, but the tides have changed, and I'm glad amongst the first of these wretched sandcastles to get washed away appears to be Ken Paxton, at the very least from his job as Attorney General. It's not the fact that these votes passed tells you that the Republicans are not on his side. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this is This is not going to be like the other trials or presentations Republicans have put together lately. I think this is actually based on facts, and those will be incredibly damning. Domenico agreed, send Ken Paxton to prison where he can live out the rest of his days, if not pretty close to the rest of his days. Yeah. Yeah. Pinkerbell, he got rearrested or something recently for menacing a hospital. Oh, Eamon Bundy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even... I don't even think I personally have anything against Eamon Bundy. I'm sure I wouldn't like the guy, but it's just the fury I feel at something as simple as the social coding this person has, basically making him immune from police intervention for that long. Wicked Foxy Dragon says, a Capitol Hill doctor rules out stroke seizure disorder after examining McConnell. Interesting. I mean, he did. He's an older fellow. We know that. And he did get a concussion recently. Let me be clear. I have the optimist in me. Can't believe I'm going to say this. The optimist in me wants McConnell to be healthier. I want a positive diagnosis for McConnell. I know. But the fact is, McConnell is the head of the sane Republicans, which is to say that doesn't mean they're good. And in fact, long term, I think Mitch McConnell might have done more damage to the United States than maybe any other living human being. Wrap your mind around that one. And I'm including Trump there. Mitch McConnell we would not have Roe overturned if not for Mitch McConnell. So I'm not happy that I want him healthy, but I do want him healthy because he represents the Republicans that are against civil war. And we don't need them, frankly, in my opinion, but it's better to have them as not. As a general rule, it's always better to have classier competition. And may one day they be replaced by Democrats as the right-wingers, and we can call ourselves something else or take the name Democrats and make Schumer and the gang call themselves something different. Shade Dragon, I'm a prison abolitionist. Well, hell yeah. He should lose his benefits and have to take a job driving Lyft for his health coverage. My God, wouldn't that be amazing? Here's my question. Because I don't meet a lot of prison abolitionists, and I don't really understand it. The concept. So Shade Dragon, here's what I'm tossing your way. When you say you're a prison abolitionist, is it that you are against the concept of confining a person to a certain area, or is it that you believe the manner in which we are confining them is too brutal?
Jury, please take your seat.
I ask this because I'm a private prison abolitionist, but I do think for violent criminals there should be a facility which houses them. Let me know, and I'll respond to that. I do think, though, I would prefer like those cute little apartments in what was it, Norway, that has those like freestanding buildings. And the prisoners have yards. I would like humane prisons.
Members, now that we are moving forward based on the pretrial
we can do
motions, I'd like to comment on several of the key rules and procedures for the trial, particularly so we are totally transparent for the public and that everyone
Good.
knows what is about
All right, how's
to
this
happen.
game going to go, brother?
First, the Texas Constitution and the law require the Senate to receive articles of impeachment preferred by the House of Representatives and try them in the Senate. For the general public, the articles of impeachment are the charges brought by the House. The Senate is committed to conducting a fair and impartial trial where eligible senators will serve as jurors. We will start each day at 9 a.m. and continue until at least 6, possibly a bit later. Of course, today we started on Tuesday because of the holiday, but next week it will be Monday through Friday and potentially could go
We're
to
not
Saturday
covering
next week.
all of
We
that
will not
live
do
for the
Saturday
record.
this week.
But the last day we will.
We will break probably every 90 minutes or so for the jurors and the parties to stretch. We'll do it for 20 minutes and we'll be timely and come back. We'll break for lunch about 12:15 most days for 45 minutes till 1. And then we will come back for the afternoon. I'd like to place a couple of things on the record officially. The parties have agreed to provide the court and the opposing party with 24 hours of advance notice on witnesses. They plan to call to testify, is that correct? Both sides? Thank you. Additionally, the party said they would agree to the admissibility of certain exhibits. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. That may be heard.
Yes? Hold on one second. We cannot hear. Is that mic on?
Well, we got, thank you, Your Honor, I apologize.
Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning.
It's a good trial run of screwing up on the technology. I think what I said was Mr. Busby suggested last Wednesday that we decide to get together and agree what could be pre-admitted. We thought that was a great idea. The President thought so, and we assumed that's what was going to happen. On Thursday, we were asked what our position was about their exhibits, and we said we would agree to pre-admit all of their exhibits. They could put in anything we wanted that was on their witness list, and we would not object. They wrote back, they came back and said, is that a precondition? And I said, no, that is our position. We will not object to any of your exhibits. Now, what is your position about ours? We'll get back to you. We didn't hear. We didn't get back. And finally, they wrote back and said, we will not agree to pre-admit any of your exhibits.
They did hear.
So that means, in light of what the court said earlier, by the way, do I say court or what do I say? I can handle Mr. President, but I don't know what to refer to the facility.
Court is fine.
Thank you. What that means is that anytime they seek to introduce an exhibit, it's going to come in
He's gonna get
unobjected to
corrected on
because
that.
that was the word we gave them. When we seek to introduce any exhibit, there may be continued objections which are going to slow it down. And so I welcome the court's observation that if that starts taking away somebody's time unfairly, the court has the ability to acknowledge that. And I'm just simply asking at this stage, no action on the part of the court, but an awareness is we thought we were playing fair with what they got in here and represented to you, and we're not taking our word back. These guys wouldn't even negotiate it with us. They wouldn't even talk to us about, we'll agree to some, we won't agree to others. I stand up as a matter of privilege and a House of privilege, or Senate of privilege. I just want the court to know, no, we did not have an agreement on pre-admitting.
Any response?
Mike's not on, man.
We'll take a look at them and we'll object if it's appropriate. If it's not appropriate, we will not
He's
object.
listening.
We'll do it like we're supposed to do it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Already
you both.
contention
Okay,
between
I've
the
heard both.
prosecution and defense.
Members, if you're watching at home, also know that you may attend in person if you wish. Go to senatetexas.gov for public access guidelines and more information in case you're watching at home and want to come in person. I want to remind the
Road
jurors
trip?
and everyone watching
For the
that
last
the juror
day,
senators
maybe.
may not consider any evidence
I'm too late.
unless taken under oath in this chamber.
And cheap.
Their decision, your decision, must only be based on the facts and evidence presented here in this chamber, and by considering the credibility of the witnesses testifying here and here only, under oath. No evidence whatsoever outside of this chamber shall be considered for any purpose. This includes anything said in the House impeachment proceedings where no testimony was given under oath. Senators cannot consider anything reported in the news, anything on social media, or anything they have been told by anyone outside of this trial in this chamber, only what you hear under oath testified to in this court, and your belief in those who are testifying. Senate jurors may only consider evidence given under oath in this chamber as you are the sole determiners of the credibility of the witnesses called to testify. One unique aspect of this proceeding is that one senator is the spouse of the accused. The senators adopted rules that make the spouse of the accused ineligible to vote as a juror. They could find no instance where a spouse of any defendant in any type of trial was allowed to be a juror. However, even though Senator Paxton cannot vote, the threshold to convict remains the same. The members kept the threshold at 2/3 of 31 senators, which would still require 21, even though only 30 members are voting. So the threshold is still 21 votes. At the end of the trial, the members will deliberate in private, as any jury would. To be clear, the presiding officer, I do not have a vote on guilt or innocence. I will not give any member my opinion on how they should vote. In deliberations, the senator jurors will consider the following. Did the House managers prove beyond a reasonable doubt any article of impeachment against Attorney General? And if so, shall that article be sustained, which would result in removal from office? Therefore, it's a two-part question. Even if a member believes the House managers have proven an article beyond a reasonable doubt, the member may only sustain the article if they also believe Attorney General Paxton should be removed from office based on that article. If any one of the 16 articles is sustained against Attorney General Paxton, he'll be removed from office. The jury would then vote one last time on whether he can hold public office again, if that were to occur. Members at home watching, if you wish to read the 31 rules voted 25-3 by the senators, which govern this trial in more detail, they are posted on our website. These are just a few of the rules that will guide this trial, but I hope my statements today clarify some questions that the public may have had or have. After I swear in witnesses who are present, each party may make an opening statement, and after the articles are read,
We'll read
the impeachment articles are read. With that,
Reagan for lunch, hopefully. We'll end this stream when they break. But after we do questions with the audience. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me try that again. If you have comments, drop them. I'd like to end this by hashing out what your guys' thoughts are on everything. Oh, it looks like they are breaking, but let me be absolutely sure. So yes, if you guys have questions, comments, etc.
Attorney General Paxton, please rise.
Yes, here's what I wanted.
Clerk, please read the articles of impeachment, one at a time, preferred by the House of Representatives.
Articles of impeachment. Article 1, disregard of official duty, protection of charitable organization. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the duties of his office by failing to act as public protector of charitable organizations as required by Chapter 123 Property Code. Specifically, Paxton caused employees of his office to intervene in the lawsuit brought by the Roy F. and Joanne Cole Mitt Foundation against several corporate entities controlled by Nate Paul. Paxton harmed the Mitt Foundation in an effort to benefit Paul.
Been waiting more than a decade for this. Go on, lie.
Senator Paxton, how do you plead?
Attorney General Ken Paxton is innocent and therefore pleads not guilty.
Clerk will read the next
Gonna
article.
double up on it.
Article 2, disregard of official duty, abuse of the opinion process.
Lie to us 40
While
more
holding
times
office
for
as
things,
Attorney
yeah.
General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official power to issue written legal opinions under Subchapter C, Chapter 402 Government Code. Specifically, Paxton caused employees of his office to prepare an opinion in an attempt to avoid the impending foreclosure sales of properties belonging to Nate Paul or business entities controlled by Paul. Paxton concealed his actions by soliciting the chair of a Senate committee
enjoy this in
to
its
serve
full
as
glory.
straw requestor. Furthermore, Paxton directed employees of his office to reverse their legal conclusion for the benefit of Paul.
Those
How
allegations
do you
are
plead?
untrue, therefore he pleads not guilty.
I didn't mean to step on you. You want to repeat that?
The allegations that I just heard are untrue, therefore Ken Paxton pleads not guilty.
Thank you.
Article 3, disregard of official duty, abuse of the open records process. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth
You wearing a
Paxton
blue
misused
suit
his
with an
official
orange
power
tie? Don't
to
steal my
administer the
look,
Public
devil.
Information Law, Chapter 552 Government Code. Specifically, Paxton directed employees of his office to act contrary to law by refusing to render a proper decision relating to a public information request for records held by the Department of Public Safety, and by issuing a decision involving another public information request that was contrary to law and applicable legal precedent.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Everything she just said there was false, therefore Attorney General Ken Paxton pleads not guilty.
Listen to how
Clerk will read the next article.
Article 4, disregard of official duty, misuse of official information.
Informative that
While
is.
holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton
Just say not
misused his
guilty.
official power
A lie, but
to
just
administer
say
the
that.
Public
Have some
Information
class.
Law, Chapter 552 Government Code. Specifically, Paxton improperly obtained access to information held by his office that had not been publicly disclosed for the purpose of providing the information to the benefit of Nate Paul.
Attorney General, how do you plead?
Your Honor, those are all untrue, therefore Ken Paxton pleads not guilty.
Clerk will read the next article.
Article 5, disregard of official duty, engagement of CAMIC. While holding office as Attorney
arms
General,
folded,
Warren Kenneth Paxton
petulant.
misused his official powers by violating
Right
the
off
laws
the bat, I
governing the
don't care for
appointment of
this attorney.
prosecuting attorneys pro tem. Specifically, Paxton engaged Brandon Camick, a licensed attorney, to conduct an investigation into a baseless complaint during which Camick issued more than 30 grand jury subpoenas in an effort to
form of
benefit Nate
intimidation.
Paul or Paul's business entities.
Kamek harassed people.
Attorney
for
General Paxton, how do you plead?
For
The
Paul.
Attorney General is innocent and therefore pleads not guilty.
Liar.
Clerk will read the next article.
Article 6, disregard of official duty, termination of whistleblowers. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the duties of his office by terminating and taking adverse personnel action against employees of his office in violation of this state's whistleblower law, Chapter 554 Government Code. Specifically, Paxton terminated employees of his office who made good faith reports of his unlawful actions to law enforcement authorities. Paxton terminated the employees without good cause or due process and in retaliation for reporting his illegal acts and improper conduct. Furthermore, Paxton engaged in a public and private campaign to impugn the employees' professional reputations or prejudice their future employment.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Everything she said there, sir, is legally and factually incorrect, and therefore Attorney General Ken Paxton pleads not guilty.
What does he mean
Clerk will
legally
read the next article.
incorrect?
Article 7, misapplication of public resources, whistleblower investigation and report. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused public resources entrusted to him. Specifically,
not a good
Paxton directed
sign
employees of his
when the
office to conduct a sham
lawyer is
investigation into
trying to make
whistleblower
a
complaints made by
showy
employees
stand like
whom
this.
Paxton had terminated, and to create and
Means they don't
publish
have
a
the
lengthy
facts on
written
their side.
report containing false or misleading statements in Paxton's defense.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
The allegations she just referenced are untrue, therefore the Attorney General pleads not guilty.
The clerk will read the next article.
Article
lawyer
8,
impression
disregard of official
for
duty
Paxton's team.
settlement agreement. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official powers by concealing his wrongful acts in connection with whistleblower complaints made by employees whom Paxton had terminated. Specifically, Paxton entered into a settlement agreement with the whistleblowers that provides for payment of the settlement from public funds. The settlement agreement stayed the wrongful termination suit and conspicuously delayed the discovery of facts and testimony at trial to Paxton's advantage, which deprived the electorate of its opportunity to make an informed decision when voting for Attorney General.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
The Attorney General is innocent of those charges and pleads not guilty.
Well, that too. There's a
The clerk
surprise,
will
huh?
read the next article.
Article 9, Constitutional Bribery, Paul's Employment of Mistress. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Section 41, Article 16, Texas Constitution. Specifically, Paxton benefited from Nate Paul's employment of a woman with whom Paxton was having an extramarital affair. Paul received favorable legal assistance from or specialized access to the Office of the Attorney General.
Specify that they say
Attorney
the
General
affair
Paxton, how do
didn't
you plead?
happen.
Those allegations are flat out false. The Attorney General pleads not guilty.
The clerk will read the next article.
Article 10, Constitutional Bribery, Paul's providing renovations to Paxton home. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Section 41, Article 16, Texas Constitution. Specifically, Paxton benefited from Nate Paul providing renovations to Paxton's home. Paul received favorable legal assistance from or specialized access to the Office of the Attorney General.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Those allegations are offensive and false. The Attorney General pleads not guilty.
Those hurt
will
my
read the next article.
fee-fees.
Article 15, false statements
Not
in
what they were
official
asking,
records,
guilty or not.
whistleblower response report.
Just
While
say
holding office as Attorney
not guilty,
General, Warren
if that's
Kenneth
what you
Paxton made false or misleading statements in official records to mislead both the public and public officials. Specifically, Paxton made or caused to be made multiple false or misleading
Kenny?
statements in the
Sweet
lengthy
Kenny?
written report issued by his office in response to
Our sweet baby
whistleblower
boy, Kenny.
allegations.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Mislead people?
Stand by that report and therefore plead not guilty.
Your Honor, objection is simply that if he wants to take the stand and testify, we'll welcome that. But otherwise, this is supposed to be a plea from the client. He can enter a plea of not guilty for his client. He can't make speeches as he's doing now, and I object. I ask that he just be instructed to plead not guilty or guilty, whichever he chooses, but not to be making speeches through his lawyer.
Sustained. Clerk will read the next charge.
Article 16, Conspiracy and Attempted Conspiracy. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth
that's
Paxton
timing.
acted with others to
We have,
conspire or attempt to conspire
the
to commit
internet
acts
repair
described
guy.
in one or more articles.
In the building. So I'm going to go let him
Attorney
up.
General Paxton, how do you plead?
Absolutely not guilty.
Had to get that
Clerk will
little
read the
twist
next
in there.
article.
Article 17, Misappropriation of Public Resources. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official powers by causing employees of his office to perform services for his benefit and the benefit of others.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Again, Your Honor, not guilty.
Clerk will read the next article.
Article 18, Dereliction of Duty. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the Texas Constitution, his oaths of office, statutes, and public policy against public officials, acting contrary to the public interest by engaging in acts described in one or more articles.
Attorney General, Paxton, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Clerk will read the next article.
Article 19, Unfitness for Office. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in misconduct, private or public, of such character as to indicate his unfitness for office, as shown by the acts described in one or more articles.
Attorney General, how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Give us
Clerk
that
will read the
last
following
one.
article.
Article 20, Abuse of Public Trust. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton used, misused, or failed to use his official powers in a manner calculated to subvert the lawful operation of the government of the state of Texas and obstruct the fair and impartial administration of justice, thereby bringing the office of Attorney General into scandal and disrepute to the
Just
prejudice
let
of
me
public
hear it.
confidence in
You
the
know he's
government
gonna
of
end
this
with a
state,
flourish.
as
If
shown
he's
by the acts
unprofessional,
described
that's
in
what
one
I'll
or more articles.
Attorney General Paxton, how do you plead?
Your Honor, the Attorney General is
Extra
innocent,
super
and we plead
duper.
not guilty.
You may be seated.
Well, there it is, folks. Let's go to the outside here. All right. Well,
Bailiff, do we have witnesses?
etc. It's going to be interesting. The link, if you want to keep watching, they're going to come back after lunch.